Podcast, the musical. It's a podcast that's a musical. A podcast with a musical twist. And this week's story starts just like this. Podcast, the musical. It's here. I'm Eric Schwartz, and this is the first episode of something I've been working on for over a year. Well, I haven't been actually actively working on it for over a year. I thought of it over a year ago, and then I did nothing for about 10 months. The scale of it, the scope of it is too big. It scared me. So I just did nothing out of fear. I was paralyzed. And then eventually it became inevitable that idea just kept nudging me and said, hey, this is your destiny. And guess what? I did it. And it was even more work than I could ever imagined. But after hearing it, I hope that you will agree. This thing is worth it. First of all, I should say, Instagram, Eric Schwartz with 3 E's, EEERICSCHWARTZ. It's pronounced Eric Schwartz. Facebook.com/Eric Schwartz. Only 1 E, and it's also just pronounced Eric Schwartz. My website for tour dates, merch, and all that stuff, ericschwartzlive.com. So what is Podcast the Musical, you ask? If you've ever seen me perform live, it's basically the same concept. I'm known for performing a show that's stand-up at its core, but periodically breaks into song, kind of like a musical. So this podcast is my attempt to translate what I do live into a podcast. And I can't think of a better way to start than with our first guest, Jo Koy. He's one of the hottest comedians right now. Got his second Netflix special came out called Comin in Hot. We recorded this conversation the summer of 2019 after he just kicked off his Just Kidding World Tour, which I'm fortunate to be on the ride for, opening up some of the shows. So here it goes. The first episode ever. Podcast the Musical presents Jo Koy. Jo Koy. When he takes the stage, he crushes like no other. Son of the world's favorite Filipino mother. Rising to the top, he barely takes a nap. Jo Koy. In his golden CPAP. In the Pacific Northwest from humble beginnings, a young single father trying to make a living. He endured through the game, went to extra innings. Now he's finally winning, and this is just the beginning. He went from packing up slacks at Nordstrom Rack to giving fans jackets from off his back. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my boy, the one and only Jo Koy. He has many classic beats. His mother said you'll sip. He talks about his own sons. Check it out. That's why Joe's a great comic, is because he observes everything, man.
It's
you
all
see
about
it.
observation.
That's what I love about you, is that you're so sensitive to things that I don't really see. You know what you're sensitive to? And I noticed, like, being on the road with you.
What?
You're sensitive to positivity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we were at the buffet.
Yeah.
And then you tried the clam chowder.
Uh-huh.
And you were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
And like, even if I really liked a clam chowder, I might not react like that.
Uh-huh.
But to me, that is living your life in gratitude.
Yeah.
Because
I love it. Dude, can you write that down?
Yeah.
Mark this. What are we?
Yeah.
1 minute in? You need to write that down.
I've been thinking about that. I'm
Say
like,
it again. Living your life in gratitude?
because you appreciate the positive. That's living your life in gratitude,
dude,
man.
You should write all these down. These should be calendar. Like, this should be in the square. Like, you know what I mean? Like January 1st. Say it.
Living your life.
Say it. Living your life.
Living life in gratitude.
Dude, that's dope.
No, man. I mean,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because you're a businessman.
Yeah.
And right now, we just turned a pod into a brainstorm session. And I can clearly see a cool calendar with inspirational lines like that. And then underneath that is like a 1, 2, 3 of living your life that day in gratitude. And the 3 things that you did that day that made you live your life in gratitude.
All right, let's do it right now. Let's exercise.
No, what I'm saying is we should make that.
Okay.
That should be something that we give people. Because there's people that don't live their life in gratitude. I do it naturally. Mm-hmm. I appreciate everything. And every time, because we all fall into that space of negativity because it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. It's a form of entertainment.
It's addictive.
If there was no TV and there was no computers or any of that stuff, there was nothing that we could go to visually to receive that negativity. I mean, that type of entertainment. That's what I meant to say. If we to receive that entertainment, I think naturally, the human goes to negativity for entertainment. That's why when you go to an area where the the less fortunate, they do the dozens, they do the yo mama, they do the roasting.
Snapping.
Because it's fun.
Right.
It's fun to do it. Yeah. It's we're making fun of each other.
Right.
Because we're both in the same spot and we need to laugh, but
Yeah, it's like I think when you're in some ways when you're putting somebody down, it's to make yourself feel better, right? You always hear that from,
and that's where you go. You go to a negative space to receive that. Like I feel so bad about myself, but if I can make this person feel a little bit worse, it makes me feel better.
It gives me power.
Yeah,
yeah.
And like but like I said, like that's that form of entertainment, like old school entertainment. Like you go to a third world country, like that's what they do for entertainment.
That's true.
Gossip, the local gossip. Like
That's
the lady on hanging out the porch gossiping about the neighbors. It's entertainment. That's all that is.
Yeah, that negative is the easier, but you naturally
it's harder to give someone a compliment.
It is.
You don't want to because you want to receive it.
That is true.
I like to give it,
and I see you do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, this guy, you're like the most generous dude. Like being out with you, like I feel like I'm along for a ride with you.
Yeah.
When I'm around you doing your shows and stuff, that you're at a moment right now. Like I've known you since, I keep saying 2001. I don't know if it's that.
Yeah, I think it's about that. Right.
Around.
I think it's right around there.
And I've seen some of the stuff that you've gone through and how you've built up, and like right now, I feel like this is a moment that it's like there's a fire that is just starting, that is about to spread like fucking crazy.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know what I mean? Like,
I would love that.
I mean, compared to my career, it's already spread like crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's. But I just know I can kind of see where your future's going, and it's like, holy shit, dude, you're fucking doing it.
Oh, thank you, man.
No, man.
But I think like I also want to like say like just to clear it up. Like I don't do it to receive.
No. I know.
You know what I mean? Like I think like cause I can care less. I don't want anyone to know what I do. You know what I mean? I remember someone said something to me and they reminded me of something. I'm not going to say it because that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is it was kind of cool that I didn't remember that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
You weren't consciously going for that.
No. Like this dude reminded me what I did. And I was like, oh yeah. And in no way that I was like, yeah, you damn right I did. It was like, oh, that's right, man. Like, yo, that's cool. Thank you for blah blah blah. I forgot what I said to him, but I just remember that moment where I was like, whoa, that's cool, and that's what I enjoy that to not even not know that you did it, because it's kind of like an organic thing. It was just something that I wanted to do out of love, not wanted to do because in the hopes I might receive something, or I'm setting up something to get something, or I'm telling the universe that I did something good. So where's my good? Like. When you do it that way, which there's a lot of people that do that, it's not fun. It's not. You're not living. I don't think.
It's kind of like
I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense?
For sure. You're saying you're following the passion rather than following the result, what you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
You're following. You don't have an agenda for it.
No.
Right.
I literally get off on doing that. Like I get off. Like I get off. Like that's my drug. I get off on it.
On positivity.
On like giving and not like ooh, look what I can give you. It's not like that. I don't know how to explain it to you. I love doing it. Like this is what I work hard for. Like I got here, and when I die, I can't take this. I think I did this joke with you. I go, there's no mall in heaven. There's no mall. There's no credit department. There's none of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to live my best life now. Like I hated hearing my dad's same excuse. My dad always had the same excuse. He's like, put your money away. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm protecting my blah, blah, blah when I retire. And I'm like, well, you're 72. You haven't retired.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? You haven't even lived your life. because you're too busy worrying about your retirement.
It's like,
and now you're 72. So now what? Your last 10 years, you got this that you saved your whole life. You worked your whole life to not be able to run because you got replaced knees.
Yeah.
When you could have done something in your 30s, like run down the beach, like, you know what I mean? Like something simple as that. Like my dad can't run down the beach and play football with me, and he can't.
So live now.
Live now.
Right.
Enjoy it, man.
That's January 2nd on the calendar.
January 2nd.
Live now.
Live now. Whatever it is that you wanted to do, man. Like, you know, I was, you know, I'm suffering from a little mini depression. I think I told you that, right? Like,
you are?
I thought I told you about my son.
Oh.
Yeah, I told you. Oh,
Yeah.
It's good to know I have a friend that doesn't fucking listen.
Okay, January 3rd. Listen to your friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, but you know, I was telling you that I was going through a little bit of a depression because my son is he's 16,
Yeah.
and it finally hit me in the gut that it's not baby anymore.
Yeah.
It's little adult now,
Right.
and he's got 1 year left at school, and then now I have to make sure that your future is ready, and you're going to leave the home. I'm not saying he's going to leave at 18, but I know at any given time it could happen. He's
Right.
not dependent on me anymore. He gets to become independent.
And when you went to the trip and when you just came back from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And this is a trip that you've been bringing all the nephews and nieces on.
All the nephews and nieces since they were little kids.
And you realize that's coming to an end.
They all got mustaches now. The one girl has a wedding ring. She's engaged. It's just like, my heart is just like, oh my God. Like I used to be the provider, the cool uncle, and all these kids clamoring and middle of the night, can you drive us to a Safeway to get some snacks? And I'm like, yeah, cool uncle can do that.
Cool uncle, don't have my own kids, so I am just a cool uncle, I come bearing gifts, so you think that I'm cool.
I'm half parent, half friend. I'm your cool uncle. I entertain you, educate you, spoil and corrupt you. 10 o'clock, pull out couch, pizza party, get messy, binge watch Full House, cause I'm on my Uncle Jesse.
No matter if you lose or win, take you out for ice cream, and when I step on your Legos, I hold my screams in.
Bring you gifts, magic tricks, pull my thumb out from my knuckle, run through puddles, watch me juggle, holding our breath all through them tunnels. I got money and a car and a brand new PlayStation. I got stories about your parents, blackmail, retaliation.
Feed you junk food, gobble, gobble, till our stomachs start to bubble. Pull my finger, chuckle, chuckle, it smells just like a cool uncle, hell yeah, you can cuss when you're around your cool uncle, do illegal stuff, cause I am just that cool.
And that's gonna come to an end. But the cool thing is, Eric, is you get that memory, that cool memory, you know what I mean? And that memory is in HD.
And what I said to you was, it coming to an end.
Yeah.
But you're beginning a whole bunch of new memories, and it'll be a different dynamic that you're gonna then, when that comes to an end, is you're gonna remember.
Exactly.
So be grateful, grateful for that time that you had. What you said, like that memory.
That's why what you said at the start of the show is just so beautiful. It's real. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, and like I said, they always fall on negativity for some reason. Like, you know, like there's people that go, there's a lot of people that deal with this situation, this type of depression I'm going through, right? And some of them deal with it by saying, I can't wait for them to go out. Like, yeah, it's fun to say that. It's entertaining to say that. But deep down inside, you don't mean that. There's no way you can say that. You're saying that for enjoyment, pleasure. You're saying it because it's masking something that you're feeling deep down inside your soul.
Yeah.
No one wants their piece of you gone. That's a piece of you. It's not even your son. It's a physical piece of you that's leaving you.
It's almost like
forever.
Like, have you ever said "I hate you" to somebody, but you know you meant "I love you"?
Yeah.
That's exactly
the same thing, only on steroids, because this is your kid.
Yeah, it's your kid.
This is you. It's half you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
It thinks, it looks like you. It acts like you. There's certain things that it does like you. You know, there's things that my son does that there's no way I could have told him to do it. There's no way. He's that. DNA or whatever that shit is that they have right now,
Mm-hmm.
it can never figure out what I see for my son just in his human behavior that he's doing at this age. And I go, I used to do that.
When I hear you describe it, it's like how I imagine having a kid would be, because I've never had a kid. But I'm like, it's like a little version of you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it's not a complete mini you,
Right.
but you will catch certain things that you go, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's from me.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
that's
when you
crazy.
hear that line, you got that from your father.
Yeah.
She's really saying that.
Oh, my
from
mom
her
used to
heart.
say that to me, and I would take it to heart, and I would feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And when I would mess up or something, and my mom would go, "You're just like your father," and that would get me down, dude. And now I think about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm half him.
Yeah.
Like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
If you're the one who had sex with him. Yeah, you know, if I'm just like my dad and you don't like that,
Yeah.
it's on you.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You're. I was gonna say something bad about your mom. Like, hey, you're the computer,
right. It's right.
and he put the wrong chip
Yeah.
in the computer.
Yeah. Exactly. You got.
But he did it. He made you.
Yeah.
And that's the defense mechanism.
Yeah.
That they like to say that. It's only because your mom and dad divorced, and there's probably some other shit that she's probably dealing with. But it's just a defense mechanism.
Right,
She loved
right.
everything about your dad when she made you.
Of course.
So that's all that is.
They only stayed together for a year after I was born, and that, like, in some
Same
ways,
here
was,
with my son.
Really?
1 year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then well then let me ask you this then, because it's the same situation.
Yeah.
And you're from the parents' perspective, I'm from
Yeah.
the kid's perspective. So like when I was growing up, it kind of got to me because I thought they couldn't try to work it out. I was a year old, like I was
Yeah.
a cute little baby.
Yeah.
Like why couldn't they have tried to? Wasn't I enough? Right?
Yeah.
You think that wasn't I enough to keep them together? But it's not like that. And in some ways, I'm lucky that they didn't stay together because I don't remember them together, and I don't know any other way of life of
Yeah.
them, you know?
And you have a kick-ass stepdad.
That's true. I gained.
That's really cool.
And kick-ass stepmom.
And a kick-ass stepmom.
Yeah.
That's cool. And does your mom and dad, are they friendly? Or they've
Growing-
always been beefing?
No, growing up, they don't have really reason to talk now, but growing up, it was just really difficult.
It was rough, right?
Oh my God. I talked about this on another podcast. But I felt like, because I was the communicator in the family, like I was the outgoing one, and my brother was kind of like the introverted one, and so they would use me to kind of talk between them.
Yeah.
They didn't talk directly to each other very much. It was through me, so I felt like the hostage and the hostage negotiator.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No, 100%. That's
Yeah.
how I felt.
Yeah.
You know, if my mom wasn't getting her child support check, well, then you can't see your son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or don't talk to your uncle anymore.
Yeah.
You can't go to your dad's parents' house anymore. Which eventually I never went to their house anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, it's crazy because those are the things that, those are the life lessons that teach you either two things. You can either learn that and become it, or learn from it and get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned from it heavy to where when I first divorced, when I got a divorce with Angie,
Yeah.
I was doing that behavior.
Oh.
I was being the malicious ex. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, you better work for this money. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get all of it. I'll give you a little at a time because you're just going to, like, I was doing that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't putting myself in I wasn't putting my son in my shoes and how I felt when my dad wasn't around. I wasn't doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was being the stubborn ex
Right.
and not giving a shit about the kid because it's all about making sure you're miserable, lady. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when my mom was like, you remember how you felt when your dad wasn't around? You remember how you felt when your birthdays were around, your dad wasn't there? By the way, my dad, Jack Herbert, I love you so much. You know what I mean? There's another story to every story. There's stories to everything.
Right.
Okay. I'm just telling you the quick version of what happened in my household.
Right.
But believe me, when I turned 20, I understood why my dad left.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
He still should have been around. But if I were to tell you the predicament that he was in, you'd be like, I would have left too. And the same with me. I would have been gone too.
Right.
It was that bad. It was hard. Our The cool thing about comedy is we get to tell these stories and then embellish on them to make them funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when I say a joke like both my sisters left at 17 and they didn't come back, and then I hit it with a punch and make it funny.
Right.
You don't know why they left. And let me tell you, that fucking story you don't want to hear.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just laugh at that part.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, you talk so much about family and make it funny, but I know that it can sometimes come from a painful place. All comes from a painful place.
You know why I talk about my brother, right? No one even knows I have a brother. No one knows I have a brother, Robert Herbert, who
Well,
my
at
dad
least 4
adopted.
people know now, right?
Well, I mean, I've been telling, but what I'm saying is like I've never talked about my dad, and I never talked about my brother on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why when I say be careful with your opinion, because with an opinion there's responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you make an accusation, make sure you have enough to back that accusation up. And when you hear somebody's story and then you make an opinion, like make sure you understand where that story came from before you make that opinion. Like don't just make it. There's other things that we can't always tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why doesn't Joe talk about his dad? Why doesn't Joe talk about his brother? Do you think I choose that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't go too deep into my family for that reason, because I don't want to make them feel bad. There's certain things in my family, but like I'm starting to do it more, and having the podcast, like it just comes up in conversation like this. And so
it's a beautiful thing that what we do, man. We've been
Right.
blessed with the gift of gab and funny. We're funny. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful gift, bro.
Right, for
It's
sure.
not something that you can just buy. You can't buy funny.
Yeah.
We've been blessed with it. And the thing is, that's why when they say like, a lot of comedy comes from pain, right? And that's true. You know what I mean? That was my outlet. And the times that I lived in, the baby boomer era, you know what I mean? The heart of the divorce rate, when divorces were kind of new and it was all about screwing the woman over and dad's fucking gone, and you know what I mean? And that was kind of like that thing, you know what I mean? The divorce court started happening, the TV shows.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have the internet. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have streaming and all that. You had your immediate family and you had a couple of channels to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my form of entertainment. That was my escape, was comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had a lot of pain, but I didn't want to talk about it. But I knew that when my house was empty because the cops are gone now, you know what I mean? My dad's got a broken rib and my brother's in the fucking mental hospital again.
Oh my God. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. Oh, my mom's got a black eye. Oh, okay. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't talk about that. And I can't tell you that. But I will tell you that my sisters left at 17. And that's the funny part that I'm going to tell you. But you don't want to know why.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want to know why I don't talk about my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, man. That's some, I got my mouthwash out with soap a couple times.
Yeah.
That was kind of traumatic.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's why I say your opinion is very, it's, like people, especially this day and age, we love to throw your personal opinion on something. And sometimes I think that's it's a magical move. You know what I mean? You're doing some David Blaine shit when you do that. When you voice your opinion on somebody else, you know what I mean? That's negative. It's because you're hiding something. You know what I mean? You want to quickly throw whatever it is that your fucked up life is and go, yo, did you see that over there?
Right.
And that's the magic move.
Wow.
That's the magic move.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone over here, before you have an opinion about me, look at that motherfucker. And everyone goes, ooh, and they clamor over there because you made this horrible fucking opinion. And there's a responsibility there.
It's the opposite of being vulnerable.
Exactly.
It's because you're throwing it away from you.
Yeah,
You're throwing it away. Yeah. Wow.
But I'm just saying, man, like before you make your opinions, because I've heard it, man. I've heard it, especially in this business. And it's just like, I let it roll off and it's like, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me because me being able to go on stage and laugh about, my life and tell these stories, that's my outlet. That's my therapy. That's what I was trying to get at with you. Your gift of gab and your gift of funny is your therapy. And there's people that don't have what we have naturally.
It's true.
And that's why they need therapy. And a lot of people think therapy is crazy. Oh, I need to see a therapist because I'm crazy. No, you're not. You're not crazy. We're all crazy. This motherfucker's crazy. You're
The
crazy.
neck.
We're all crazy. To sit there and say that, oh, that guy's crazy. I saw him talking to himself. Motherfucker, you talk to yourself.
I talk to
Who
myself.
doesn't?
I do it all the time,
So
out loud.
So then don't say that opinion about anybody.
Yeah.
Don't call another person crazy. You're crazy too. You never sat in the corner and just thought some ill shit in your head? That's crazy, man. The difference between you and everybody else is you know how to control your crazy. You know that that's wrong to do. Some people can't, and some people can't voice it. And they need a therapist. You know what I mean? We're like our own therapist. We've been blessed to be in front of a bunch of strangers because that's what therapy is. To be able to tell something that's so deep to somebody that's biased.
Right.
To tell somebody that doesn't know anything about Eric and nothing about your stepdad and nothing about your mom and dad, but they want to listen to your story and give you a fucking honest opinion. And that's what therapy is. To be able to go, no, Eric, you're wrong. You know what I mean?
And
Or no, Eric, you're right. That's good. But if you're going to talk to your best friend or your girlfriend or someone that's biased, you know what I mean? Oh, I think I said it wrong. But what I meant is when you talk to someone that has bias, that's what I meant. Then you're not getting that honest therapy. You know what I mean? And people need that. You know, you're like, oh, I talked to my girlfriend and she agreed with me. No, she agreed with you. She's your girlfriend and you're in Cabo right now.
Yeah.
So that's not honest.
It's biased, right?
Yeah, you need to talk to someone that doesn't know about you and your husband or you and your boyfriend or you and your girlfriend or whatever it is. You need to talk to that person and then hear, like, just let them hear your side and then they'll tell you that honest thing. Like that's what therapy is.
I guess we have.
I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
No, we got deep quick. I love it.
It started with the calendar, but like I think you just picked the wrong.
I think we filled the whole calendar up.
I think you picked the wrong week because I'm dealing with this depression with my son.
Man,
you know what I mean? And this is good for me. I've been feeling so good lately after been talking to you and you know
I'm your therapist.
Yeah,
I guess.
I've been letting
your friends
it out.
could be your friend can be your therapist.
Your friend can as long as they're not biased.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I'm definitely biased because I'm your friend.
Yeah.
And but I wonder, like, so you're saying you're going through a depression right now, and then but I look at you and I don't see, I'm not like, I don't have the back seat to your family life or whatever, but I'm along for the success that you're having right now. And I
don't want you to think I'm depressed with the situation with where my career is.
No.
I'm depressed because I'm dealing with adulthood.
It's empty nest.
Empty nest. I'm going through that right now,
yeah.
And I'm also dealing with.
And it's natural.
I'm dealing with stuff like I missed 3 birthdays. I missed 3 Christmases because of my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sacrificed a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember taking you know how emotional I get. You better stop. I don't want to go there.
Guys, he does this.
But I do. I get
stage.
emotional, but I you know, and I'm starting to get teary-eyed, but it's just like that's what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? And I got to recognize the fact that I have that memory.
Mm-hmm. You're a sensitive dude, man. And it's what makes you great.
Yeah.
You know? It really does, man. And you've been so vulnerable on stage, which I don't think you've gone to that before on stage. And I think that people are going to be very surprised and very like, it shows that you are, you know, you're giving, you're willing to show your cards, man.
Yeah.
It's a different level of comedian.
Thank you.
Not to say that you weren't a human before, but it definitely humanizes you, and it's a whole different level of learning and entertainment, and it's just a whole different level.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing that makes it so much more poignant to people.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing to watch because I
man.
haven't been able to get there yet.
I mean, it's like I said, it is my therapy. You know what I mean? And plus, I'm at that age. I'm at that age where someone is growing and I'm about to leave, and then I also have someone that's about to leave. You know what I mean? And I have to deal with that. You know what I mean?
When you say someone is growing,
well, someone's growing up and about to leave, which is my son. And then I also
right.
have someone that's very important in my family. You know, my stepdad, who's you know what I mean. So I'm dealing with a lot of emotion right now. You know,
it's
heavy.
But a lot of comedians may not go that route and
that's
really
good.
And really talk about what's going on.
That's
in their
good
lives.
if they don't want to talk about it on stage. That's great.
Yeah,
you know,
it's fine.
personal life is private.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want to give everyone your goods, but no, you do need to talk to someone. I don't think anyone should bottle up that emotion. That it's such you voice that emotion. You know what I mean? Like Dre said it's good. My friend Brian, he was like, it's good to show your emotion. Let them know that you're human. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that you can do that. And the other thing I said to you like about a week ago is that, just watching how you conduct your business and just your personal life is like, you're not trying to, I'm getting inspired from you, but you're not necessarily trying to inspire me. That you're, what did I say? You said you should tweet that. I said, you're the best way. I did tweet it. I did tweet it.
Oh yeah.
No, but there's another tweet that you saw me.
When we were at the club?
Yeah, I said the best way to be an inspiration is to be the best you. And that's what you're doing.
And I
for me.
man, when you said that, I was like, that's life right there.
Yeah.
Those little dimes, man, may sound like creative conversation or whatever it is, or a quote, whatever it is.
Right, like
but
transformational speak or whatever.
My guy, that is like, it's beautiful. And there's people that need to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people don't think they're the best you. They're too caught up in this goddamn IG filter generation.
Right.
That the only way I can be the best me is with this goddamn filter right here. No, it's not, man. It's like you can be the best you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you wanted to do or what you love to do it, man.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. I don't want to sound like, I always say this on stage, I don't want to sound like a TED Talk, man.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm a perfect example of living my dream.
For sure.
And it can happen. Like you can create, like when they say make your dreams a reality, it's true. It's fucking true.
Yeah. Yeah, and dude, I always say you're giving me a roadmap by watching you.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, look what's possible. Look how it's possible.
Yeah.
And like I'm doing some of the things that I see you do,
Yeah.
and not necessarily on stage, but like your after the show thing, talking to fans and just really ingratiating yourself with the fans. And I've never seen anyone spend as much time with fans as you.
Yeah. That's your real fan, by the way.
Right.
That's your realest, deepest fan. The one that's real. And let me tell you, like a lot of people always go, oh, you charge for the VIP line or whatever. I want you to know, for 10 years, I didn't charge for the VIP line. You came to my show, you got to meet me.
Right.
And by the way, I'm doing 14, like I've been doing 10, 12 sold out shows at the Brea Improv for almost 9 years straight.
Right.
And if you could do the numbers in your head, imagine that. Imagine 12 times 300.
Yeah.
That's 3,600 people. And me shaking and signing and taking pictures with every single one for the past 9 years. It's more time meeting and greeting and shaking hands and taking pictures and signing autographs than my physical time on stage.
That's true. Oh, and I'm you know what I do now? I'm like, if Joe's...
I'm sorry. But the reason I wanted to end it by saying like people are like, oh, you charge for the VIP. I'm like, the only reason why, man, is because it's physically draining.
Oh, yeah.
But I will give you my 100% because if I were to do, because now the venues are bigger now, now we got 2,000 seaters. I can't do that anymore.
It's impossible.
I'll die.
Yeah. No, honestly, dude, I feel like I'm almost dying when I'm like, you're like a coach that's like not what's the word not on purpose, but you're not trying to do this, but you're training me. You're like a coach who's training me to become a stronger like businessman and like how to direct. I might have the creativity part of it, but that's just one piece. And like, how do you direct that creativity to to an audience that's going to support you? But like, I'm like, when I watch you do these meet and greets, my mission is, there's times earlier on when I started doing some stuff with you, I was like, man, I'm going to go home, man. But now I'm like, my challenge is I want to stay out as long as you, meet as many people as I can, and condition myself to think that way. Yeah. Because I watch how, that creates just a more fulfilling experience for me and for people that are going to support you.
Yeah.
But dude,
and it shows, by the way. I've noticed, man. It shows
really?
with you. Yeah, I've seen you. You're way different from when I met you, man. I'm not saying like a bad thing. What I'm saying is like your business approach is different.
Yeah.
You're out there now.
Yeah.
Every show you have cards now.
Yeah.
Whereas like, there was a few times where I'm like, "Where's your cards?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, I'm getting them made." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great. Well, you just missed out on 1,500 people right now."
I know. Well, this okay. So, and I want to also like explain a little bit more about like how big of a deal this is, because when you said you do 3,600 people, that's per week of shows at like say Brea Improv.
Yeah, well, that's the improvs.
Right. That's 600 seater, and
no, this is I was adding from the old school.
Oh, from the old school, the 300
like 10
seater.
years ago, the Improv in Brea was only 300 seats,
and now it's
and I would
600.
sell those out like 14 in a row.
Yeah.
So you do that 3 times 14.
And
that's
now
like
you're selling
4,200, and now they double the size, but I'm still at 14 shows.
16 shows.
So, yeah,
sometimes.
it was 16 this time. Yeah.
16, and then you're doing.
So what is that?
That's kind of what inspired
7,800.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 7,800.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're doing literally over 100 VIPs.
Yeah.
Meet and
About
greets,
150
yeah. per show.
2
shows a night.
Two shows a night.
Most of them are 2 shows.
Yeah,
a night.
which is actually a show.
In
the old Brea
longer.
would be 300. My VIP is actually equivalent to.
And you're
one night.
taking selfies with them, doing videos.
And
for
I
them.
don't do the step and repeat style.
No,
like,
you
hi,
take time.
thank you. Hi, yeah, I want to, because that's not an experience.
Right.
Because then I and this is just me personally. This is no dig on anybody. You know what I mean? Because I used to open for entertainers that did that style, the step and repeat by, and get that shit done in like 20 minutes.
Right.
And to me, I'm like, it's not about that, man.
Yeah.
Like these people, like, we drove 6 hours from Oregon to see you because we can't see you in Portland because it's already sold out. Like, bro, that's love.
Mm-hmm.
That's genuine love, man. It's not a have to. It's not like someone put a gun to their head and like, get to Reading or you're gonna die. It's like, I love this guy so much that I'm going to get a hotel room, a babysitter.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat the whole weekend out, which is already a big thing. It's a lot for these people to eat just one night out.
Yeah.
And now you expect them to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner out for a weekend and get a hotel room and go watch you and pay for VIP to meet you and get merch. Bro,
By the time
you
it's said
deserve
and done.
more than just a picture and a handshake.
You
it
make-
deserves a hug. It deserves a conversation. It deserves a genuine conversation. It deserves many thank yous on my behalf, several hugs, everything.
It's the gratitude thing, man. You have to, every time somebody new steps up in that line, you have to be as gracious and appreciative of them as the first person. And it's hard work, dude. You have to find that you've made their day by at the end of all that struggle. Think of how hard they worked to get to just, if they did all that stuff, they drove 7 hours or whatever it was. So you have to keep that in mind, which is like, it's amazing to watch, dude. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I love, even if I never do another show with you, I've learned so much from it. And it's definitely like, put me on a right track. It's pretty dope.
Well, then this makes it easy for me to say this, but that was your last show. Yeah. And I'm glad that
I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
Now I have to deal with this. Another empty nest. No,
So
you're
should we cancel
so
my
much
flight
fun.
for Thursday? Or
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
Okay.
cancel that.
All right. I won't be with you at Snoqualmie.
We're gonna have a blast out there. That's gonna be
Dude,
so much fun.
it's
I didn't
gonna
mean
be
to get
awesome.
so deep, man.
No,
Like
man,
I
it
said,
just
man,
happened. It just
I'm in
happened.
this space and talking makes me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Because if I'm not gonna say this right now, my son's not home. He just texts me right now. He's at his friend Ronnie's house. He says I'll come home later. So I'm literally gonna go home and do that again. So I'm trying to get it out of my head so I can do something else, and that's what this is.
It's real.
I'm sorry to keep walking on you, man.
It's cool.
But like that's what a podcast is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is people's therapy as well, man. There's people driving right now listening to this, and they're like, "Yo, I see where he's coming from. I get it. I'm feeling the same way."
Yeah, why do podcasts? They're kind of like, I've heard somebody describe them as truth serum, where it's like, it's weird that like once you have a mic in front of your face, but it's on a radio show, you wouldn't necessarily do this. But on a podcast, you start sometimes saying things that you wouldn't necessarily want out there on another medium.
Yeah.
But why is that? Why is it truth serum?
Well, because the radio format is a show.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a show. This is a conversation, and people are snooping in.
Mm-hmm.
These are people on the this is, and I'm not saying they're snooping bad. What I'm saying is that's how they feel, and that's why they enjoy it.
Yeah.
because they feel like they're in a conversation between two friends,
Right.
and they're experiencing something that no one else can experience right now.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
pretty
mean?
dope. That's why I think people like podcasts because they
Of
get
course,
it's
that's why I
behind the
love
scenes.
it. That's why my dad loved talk radio. Will always be king.
I love talking.
You can throw as many number one hits in a radio show. It will never beat a great conversation on an AM radio station. It's not.
I used to work in talk radio.
Yeah, you're not going to win it. You're not
Yeah.
going to win that battle.
Yeah.
There's something about conversation and information that you can get, and wisdom and all that. People enjoy it. We love information. Give it to us. Even though it's in the palm of our hands, we still like to hear it from somebody else.
Support for Podcast the Musical comes from Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. It's time to talk about it. That's right, guys. There's no way around it. It's the holidays. You got to make yourself presentable everywhere. You want to show you've been nice, not naughty, in neglecting every part of your body. All right? Look, untrimmed pubes, that's a thing in the past. All right, what are you, in the 70s? It's time to gear up. Get yourself the gift of shaving this holiday season. I'm talking about the Manscaped Package 2.0. Now, I got to be honest with you. Before Manscaped sent me this package, I used to shave my parts with a shaver that they have in the barbershop, okay? And it was scary. This is the Lawnmower 2.0, okay? This is safe. You can use this in the shower. I was using a barbershop trimmer, and I gotta be honest with you, I was risking my life every time. Not only my life, but the life of my unborn child, or children, for that matter. You don't know what kind of potential you have. That's potentially already multiple lives saved by the Lawnmower 2.0 and the Perfect Package, okay? This is a revolutionary company, Manscaped. They've redesigned the electric trimmer. Their Lawnmower 2.0 has the proprietary advanced skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. It's also waterproof, okay? I've never heard of a shaver you can use in the shower. Can they apply this technology to toasters? And by the way, who's putting toasters in the bathtub? Who's making toast when they're trying to get clean? That's the dumbest thing ever. You probably deserve to be electrocuted if you're trying to make toast in the bath. Don't use and I know this is what a lot of you guys are thinking, like, I'll just use the shaver that I use on my face on my down. No, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. You gotta separate. You know what I mean? Separate it. This is the Lawnmower 2.0. This package, let me tell you, it's literally everything that you need to be trimmed, keep it clean. Look what else they gave you. They gave you this, the Crop Preserver. The Crop Preserver, guys. This is ball deodorant. Keeps you fresh. Keeps you nice. It smells good, okay? And then this one, the Crop Reviver. That's going to keep it all fresh, non-sticky. You know what I mean? Like, keep them crisp. So fresh and so clean. And just to keep everything under wraps, they're going to give you this Manscaped Boxer Briefs. That's awesome. These are anti-chafing, high performance. That's what I look for in a boxer brief. 'Tis the season to Manscaped. So get yourself, your dad, your brother, your friends, the best gift of all, the Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0. And right now, they sent me a 20% off coupon plus free shipping just for listeners of the podcast. Just use the code MUSICAL at checkout at manscaped.com. Once again, that's the Perfect Package 2.0. You're going to get the shaver, the Lawnmower 2.0. You're going to get the Crop Reviver, the Crop Preserver, the Boxer Briefs, 20% off plus free shipping with the code MUSICAL at manscaped.com. It really helps the podcast, and it's going to help you. It's the holidays, and your balls will thank you. And as a comedian, and I think like if comedians are listening to this, I look at you right now and I'm like, oh shit, this is the shit. This is what we always dream of. I'm just talking career-wise. What does it feel like for you right now? Like what goes through your mind every day of like, this is the time I'm gonna remember that is this time. How do you describe this time of your life?
Okay, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now.
Yeah.
I've been. This is that one thing where I've said, like, I always felt like I was on the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And for some reason, I'm just right there on the edge.
Yeah, I felt that.
Like, I'm right there on the edge. Like, but why can't I get that leap forward? And I feel like now I've leaped. And you know what I mean? And I'm flying right now.
Nice.
I'm flying.
I
But
love
here's
that.
the thing. I don't want to stop flying.
So now this is where
I want to go through. I want to go through that sky and just keep going because there's no limit, man. There's no roof.
It's where you get your wings.
There's no roof, man.
Yeah.
You know, I put it out there 2 years. I think it was 3 years ago. I think it was before Live from Seattle dropped, which is another thing. I didn't get Live from Seattle. You know what I mean? I've told you that. They said no to me. You know?
Netflix.
And that's another reason why when I say, you know, hold your opinion to yourself until you got the facts. Because people are like, oh, yeah, well, Netflix gave you that special and that's why you're blowing up. Well, there's two things you got wrong there. One, the special's funny. Just because you have a Netflix special doesn't mean you go through the roof all overnight. True. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I made sure that's 30 years of me doing stand-up in that special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Two, they didn't give me the special. They said no to me. We asked them 4 or 5 times, please come see me. Please come see me. You got to see this act. And they said no every single time. I paid for that special. I took all of my money and put it into that special. When you see executive producer, that's what that means. I wore every hat. I signed every check. Producer, director, lighting guy, stage guy, the set designer, everything. The promoter, the ticket ripping, the everything. That was all me, 100%. That was Jo Koy Entertainment that paid for that. And me performing on stage, smiling and laughing and having a good time and making people laugh. Yeah. Just know, the guy that's laughing on stage, in my head, I'm like, I'm broke. Literally. I'm broke. Like, literally, Eric, imagine that much pressure.
Yeah.
And seeing all that equipment out there and all these people and my son upstairs and my sister upstairs that depend on me. Their livelihood depends on my sister's livelihood depends on me. And to know that everything that I worked for 27 years, I've dumped into this one night. And I want to sell it to the person that already said no.
Yeah, it makes
so
my
now
teeth hurt.
Put that pressure on yourself. They already said no, Eric.
Yeah.
Imagine that. They already said no. It's no.
Yeah.
We might see you next year, but right now it's a no. And I said, hold on. I didn't even say hold on. I left and I went and produced it. And I asked my agent, please, just give this to him. Let's have another meeting. Cut it up and handed it to him and prayed to the gods that they would just watch it. But they already said no, which means it was done.
Yeah.
I already invested the money. It was gone. That money was gone.
What you just described to me was you were on the edge of the cliff and you jumped.
And that's my jump. Ooh, that was deep, bro.
Boom!
I didn't even think of that. You're
Fucking
right.
guru.
That was it. That was the jump.
Am I a guru?
Yeah, you are a guru.
Dude, you seem to, like, I just say stuff that I normally say, but your sensitivity to the positive just lifts it up, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might change my career. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to let you change my career.
No, but you should do something with that because it is true.
But you
that
jumped.
was the jump.
You jumped.
That was the risk.
And you didn't know if you were going to sink all the way to the bottom, and maybe you did sink all the way to the bottom, and then at the last minute, Netflix said yes, and it lifted you up, and now you're on this
not
upward.
only said yes, but they bought it.
They bought it.
They bought it. And they gave me a little extra. And they gave me 2 more specials after that. But I had an option. I had a fork in the road, a physical fork in the road. I could have listened to them and they say no to me, and then I could have went online and just hated on them. I could have chose that negative route to fulfill my positive, to fulfill the love that I was missing,
right?
That they didn't give me. I could have done that. Oh, really? You don't think I'm good? Oh, they only deserve a special? Well, watch this shit. Yo, Twitter. Yo, everybody. Netflix sucks. Can you believe that shit? Yeah, I could have done that.
Do that. Yeah.
Or I could have showed them why they should have said yes, which is what everyone should do. You have the opportunity. Just because they said no didn't mean no, don't do a special.
Right.
It meant no, we don't want it. And I was like, hold on, let me show you why. Maybe you're not visualizing what I have. So let me show you. Let me make this product for you.
Jo Koy. When he first approached Netflix, they flat said no. Jo Koy. He said, so I'll just go make my show. Jo Koy.
took all his dough, yes, his entire wealth, Jo Koy, and he bet it on himself. So he jumped in the saddle and he went to Seattle and he shot that pic, brought it back to Netflix. And what did they say? Do you want to take a guess? They said, hell yes, we can fuck with this. And that's a direct quote. Plus, they bought 2 more. So don't be afraid when you jump off a cliff. If you know you can fly, it's worth all the risk. He did what he had to do. He could have lost it too, and the son would have gone to public school. It's the same thing that I'm doing with this podcast. Is I pitched it to a couple of places, and they didn't say no, but they said we want to see what it is. And I'm like, damn, dude, it's gonna be so much work, but I got to do it.
You got to do it.
I got to do it. And I mean, I feel like right now, as a comic, and Peter's a comic as well, I feel like, oh shit, we're in school right now. We're getting, like, I'm paying attention. I'm riveted. I'm like, this is what it takes.
Yeah.
You have to believe in it. You have to do your work, and then you have to take that risk.
Yeah.
And you're the one who told me when I said I want to do my special. We were at a club, and I was like, I want to shoot my special here. And you said, no, you got to do big. You got to think big. You got to do a theater.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You are. Oh man, I'm sorry. We're doing all this motivational stuff, but you are your number one fan. There's no one bigger than you.
Yeah.
Your number one fan, the president of the Eric Schwartz fan club, will never be bigger than you.
Yeah.
Will never like you more than you. There's no way. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You are the biggest fan. You were the only person that stood in the room and said, "I'm going to be a comedian," and went, "Okay, do it," because you believed in yourself. But I guarantee, if you stuck 10 other people around you, probably 9 of them would have went, "Man, don't do that shit. You're not even that funny, Eric."
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
my
that's
mom
true.
did that to me. That's my mom.
And now
She's the president. She's the owner of the Jo Koy fan club. She made the Jo Koy.
She's the most recognizable character.
And she told me no.
Yeah, wow.
She told me to quit doing comedy and get a 9-to-5 at the bank.
Wow. And you know why parents
Wells
do
Fargo.
that? Parents do that for their own security. Because if you fail, that means they failed.
And it's an added pressure when you have an immigrant mom.
Because
That gave everything up. That gave everything. See, that's why it's hard to explain these life stories with the kids now, because it's now they have a lot of parents that are of other. You know what I mean? Whereas when I was growing up, 1960, 1968 was when my mom married my dad. There wasn't that many couples that were half white, half Asian, half black, half Asian.
Right.
Those didn't exist. Half Mexican, half Asian.
Right.
Half. There were that halfer thing wasn't. Wasn't a big thing.
Right. Diversity wasn't cool.
To see a mixed couple back then was kind of like, ooh, did you see what just walked into the restaurant? I mean, seriously.
Even in the 80s, the movie, just because there was a movie called Jungle Fever and it was still kind of taboo.
That wasn't 80s. That was 90s.
That was the 90s?
Yes.
Oh,
Jungle Fever was by Spike Lee, and that was 92.
See, even as recently as the 90s.
Yeah, and even then it was like, whoa.
Yeah, wow, provocative.
So just imagine what I went through. You know what I mean? With an immigrant mom. Imagine the stress on her shoulder. I didn't come to this country for my kid to be a clown. I said that on stage, and everyone laughed at it, but that's really what she said.
Yeah.
I didn't come to this country and give up all my relatives and knowing who they were and growing up with them to have a kid in America become a clown. No. You're going to work and you need retirement. You need benefits. You need 401k. That way, when I'm gone, this is a real conversation that she had with me. That way, when I'm gone, I know when I close my eyes that my son is okay. I don't want to close my eyes and go, oh my God, does he have insurance?
Yeah.
Is he still trying to tell jokes for $25?
It's for her then. I mean, that her telling you that is for her, not for you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Like when my mom remarried my stepdad.
Yeah.
It was like in 1979 or 80.
Yeah.
And that was my grandfather did not want that because he's Mexican.
Yeah.
But then went on to change. I think that those couples that did get into interracial relationships, they eventually changed the mind. So I think that's very courageous.
That's why. Yeah, 100%. I always said that the military changed the demographic.
Yeah.
That's another thing that the military did. The military sent these soldiers out, and these soldiers were coming back with these mixed kids, and it changed everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to what do I choose? What's my identity? I didn't know what to choose. They only gave me 5 options on my thing, and then there was other, and I would always have to write on the side half white, half Filipino.
Yeah.
But it was always Asian, Black, Latino, or whatever. I don't even remember. You remember those little things that you had to fill out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you put?
I would always write white and Filipino. I would always write it.
Oh, because they didn't have at that time.
No,
they didn't have Pacific
that. They
Islander.
didn't even know what that was.
Like now it's Pacific Islander.
Yeah, and even then, it's like they still don't know what a mixed kid is. You know what I mean? They don't know what that is, and that's a race, man.
Yeah,
that's a race. That's a physical race. That's not identified
of mixed.
Bro, there's so much like so much like I don't even know how to explain it, but like Asians don't want to look at you because you're only half, you're not full, and then white people are like, okay, well you're not all white. It's like, well then let me just sit in the middle and just be my own race then.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of halfers out there.
I kind of think like that half thing that is actually the natural evolution of humans.
Yeah.
Because with global warming, people with just the physical whiter skin, they're not going to be able to survive.
Yeah.
Natural selection.
That's so funny.
So like,
yeah, they'll burn in flames.
Yeah,
first.
they'll burn first.
Look at Thor over here.
Yeah.
It's already happening.
You better marry. Oh, you're already married to a white woman. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, but I mean, for all the white supremacists out there, don't worry.
Yeah.
You'll be gone soon.
Yeah. You will all burn.
Yeah, you'll all burn
real fast.
Yeah. But so it's like I feel like it's almost like a natural thing to happen for, the world becomes more global now with the internet. Everyone's more connected. There's travel that's much easier, and like you said, with people get in. I think that becomes like a survival mode that we're just programmed to do.
Yeah.
I think
for sure.
Yeah.
And it happens naturally.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
No one's out there going, hey man, we need to get brown.
Yeah.
I hear the sun's coming closer.
And how hot mixed people are.
Are
like,
you kidding me?
You know what I mean? Look,
Let's go.
Evidence.
Look at me for
Look at you, man.
Hi.
Like that now becomes like now the mixed person is like the one. Oh, she's mixed with Black and Puerto Rican. Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
And now that becomes the desirable thing.
Yeah.
And then now it gets even more mixed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's just natural selection.
Natural selection. I love that.
Yeah, man.
The world is just moving in sync more and more. Instead of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's like all connected now.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
It is. And then we'll
and also weird.
And also weird because then I think what's going to happen is that we will acknowledge life on other planets, and then they will be the other, and we will be the other.
Dude, when those blue people get here, it's going to be so weird.
Yeah, I think they might already be here. They might have visited.
Yeah,
I mean, there's too much. There's too much.
People are here.
Yeah, what do you think about aliens? Yeah, dude, let's get into it.
No,
yeah.
I've always been a conspiracy. I've always been that guy.
Really?
Conspiracy's always been my thing. Oh, I love it.
But I do like conspiracy theories, and they're fascinating and stuff. But I think what's happening even right now is like it conditions people to think that people are out to get them. And I think conspiracy theories can take the burden off of you taking responsibility for yourself. It's like, it's a conspiracy. The government's doing it.
Yeah.
It's, so I think conspiracy theories can sometimes be healthy. Some of them are true, but a lot of them are not.
Yeah, it's all negative. But it got so bad. Like when I used to do the St. Charles run in Illinois, and that's a very lonely run. You know what I mean? I think it's called Zanies, and it's like an Amish country. It's in a barn. You perform on the top of a barn, and I'm not even joking about it.
Really?
Yeah, it's in St. Charles Zanies, and I always those were back in the days when I was doing like 7 shows from Wednesday to Sunday, and come home Monday. See my son Monday, Tuesday, and then back on a plane again. You know what I mean? Like Tuesday night, I'd have to catch a red eye because I had to do radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those runs were horrible, but it was also lonely. There was no mall. I had to eat in that little hotel. I don't even know if it was a casino. I don't know what the hell it was. It's the St. Charles Zanies. And then so it was a lot of hours by myself. I wasn't taking anyone on the road with me. I'd meet my opener the day I get there. And then even then, are we gonna vibe? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd always have to call the manager and get the opener's name, and then I'd call the room like, "Hey, you hungry?" And then we go eat, and then I'm not vibing with them, and then go back to the room, and it just suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're just in that room for so many hours, bro. I sunk into a wormhole of just watching conspiracy shit like for hours. I can go for like 9 hours. There was one time I got back to the room after the show.
Yeah.
Right? Like on a Wednesday, and I had to do radio on Thursday. And I would literally, I would get to my room at like 9:30 after I ate. You know, she would take me to go get like McDonald's or some shit. And I go to the room at like 9:30. I would watch it till like 5:30.
What was it? Ancient Aliens?
No, I would just watch anything.
Conspiracy
that was conspiracy. I would just fall into a wormhole and just keep clicking and clicking and clicking.
On YouTube.
Satan, 666.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
I watched some of that.
All that. I would fall into this wormhole until like 5:30, and then next you know the manager's calling me like, "You ready for press?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even sleep."
Is this Satan?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to press. Is this Satan?
Yes,
like
it's Satan. Hey, did you enjoy some of my flicks?
Now I want you to talk about it on the radio.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Spread the religion, brother. What? It's Hulk Hogan? Hulk Hogan's Satan?
Oh, I think you found out. Yeah. Dude, that's a conspiracy. This whole time we thought he was a wrestling guy, but he's actually Satan.
Yeah, man.
Hey, brother. Satan's running wild.
Eat your vitamins, brother.
Hulkamania is satanic.
Hey, Hulkamania, brother.
It doesn't even sound...
It
doesn't even sound like him. Hey, can you...
I do too. I sound just like him.
No, I'm saying when you do the Satan voice, it doesn't sound like you.
Oh.
I'm like, you completely...
Thank you. It's me, guys.
The air thing? Oh, it's getting hot. Yeah. We have my air conditioning turns off sometimes.
Oh, yeah. You like to conserve money.
No. It's because it's the Nest, and the Nest learns your patterns, and for some reason, like yesterday at this
That's
time...
creepy.
Yeah.
Get that out of here.
That's a conspiracy.
That's a conspiracy.
Hey, brother, I want you to buy the Nest so I can track your temperature.
Hey, brother, let me tell you one thing about the Nest. It knows when you want it hot, and it knows when you want it cold, brother. So today, you want to keep it right in the middle. Right in the middle of Satan's ass crack.
Because when you die, it's going to be fucking hot.
Yeah. You think it's hot now? Wait till you come to hell with me, brother. Oh, yeah. Satan.
And the Nest.
Yeah. Just call us at 666 666.
That's one too many sixes.
It's not enough six when you're in hell, bro.
That's true.
Come on, brother.
Sounds like also sounds like Craig Glazier.
Who's that?
The former Stanford and Sons guy from Kansas City.
Oh, great reference.
God. That's for the comedians.
I don't know him.
You don't know him.
Uh-uh.
Well,
what was your route, man?
My route?
My route was always I ain't headline. I'm not going on the road unless I headline. That's why it took me so long to do the road.
My thing is like I've never opened for anybody till you. How about
really?
That? Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I will say this, man. I made a list of because I'm like, man, I need to get more audience. How do I? Because it's hard. I'm trying to do these headline gigs, and like I'm not getting, huge audiences all the time. Like certain markets, I will, and I'm like, maybe I could open for somebody, but who would I open for? Who would I like really vibe with? And there's only like 4 names on it.
Uh-huh.
And it's you, Angela, Russell Peters, and Fluffy.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, and it just happened. I mean, I didn't pursue it or anything. I just write all the time.
Yeah.
Like I try to visualize stuff.
So then it happened.
Yeah, and it happened.
It's a perfect example, man.
It's great.
It's crazy how our paths always met. It's so weird.
Yeah, I've run into you more than any other comedian.
Really?
It's crazy.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I like the fact that we always like motivated each other too every time we saw each other. So
we got to tell that story.
It's a great story.
The hilarities.
The hilarities was such a great story. If I didn't run into, I probably would have never even known about hilarities. I probably would have never went in, and then I bumped into you at that hotel that the Improv and Hilarities both shared.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
And then I saw you, and I was like, "Yo, what are you doing here?" And you're like, "I'm at Hilarities," and I'm like, "What? I'm at the Improv." And I thought I thought I one-upped you.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I thought you did too, till you told me this story.
I was like, "Oh, I'm at the Improv. You playing some
Whack
diner?
ass.
Oh, you're playing a diner, bro? Oh man, that's rough for Schwartzy over here."
At the
And then you
Pickwick
took
and
me to
Frolic.
Hilarities, and I'm like, "Holy shit!
Yeah.
You guys do dinners and shows here too?"
Yeah.
Remember, because in the other restaurant they did like a dinner show, like a murder mystery.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Then you took me into the comedy club. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe my eyes, man. It was so beautiful. Did I take you to Improv or no?
No.
Oh.
No. You took me to a Vietnamese restaurant.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
After the shows, we met up at this Vietnamese restaurant, and then
And then you took me to your room.
I took you to a room,
Yep.
and you know what I did? I inspired him.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and
You took me to your room, and then you showed me how you made the beats.
Yep, on the
And
keyboard.
and you didn't have a keyboard. You had
Yeah, right.
you had your
Computer
keyboard, your computer keyboard.
computer keyboard.
I thought you did it with a real keyboard. So when you go, I just do it on my keyboard. I was like, oh, dope. I'm like, damn, this dude travels with a keyboard? You're like, yeah, I'm making beats now. And then you took me to your room because you showed me the song you were working on.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah. I don't
And
remember
you
what it
opened
was.
it up. It was probably, I don't know. I forget. I think it was I'm Fat or something like that.
But was it? I don't remember what it was.
and then you started doing it like with the letters.
Playing beats with the
With the letters. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing that? And you were just like, oh, yeah, I taught myself. I'm like, you taught yourself this? Yeah, and I just put it in this program, and I'm like, what?
I like how you told the story the other day when you were doing the character of me, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I just I do the keyboard, and I
Yeah, I just pay. Yeah, and there's the letter K, and then I'm like, you make the beats, and then you just put it in here, and I was like, what the? Are you kidding me right now? And then you made a song in front of me, and I was like, dude. And that motivated me because I always wanted to make like videos, but I was just like being lazy, and I had money, and I was like waiting on somebody to do it. And then that was like, okay, I gotta step up. I gotta learn this shit. And I started utilizing what I had. And I was like,
Right.
okay, I get it. I was teaching myself. It wasn't at the level of what you were doing, but if I didn't see it that night and see that you could actually do it yourself,
yeah,
like on some production shit, like you were doing something that like. If you never would have told me that you were doing it on this keypad,
right,
it sounded like you hired a producer to make it.
dude. Thank
so
you.
that was amazing. So that's why I was like, and I don't know if you see my videos, man, but I can cut it up now.
Now
and that's
you
because
do
of
that all on your because of me.
Yeah.
Guys, I just wanted. We got 3 cameras on.
Yeah.
We got full audio. Hey,
Yeah,
I'll take it, man.
you inspired me, man.
Dude, and you like for somebody that I look up to so much. It's weird to hear back that I've inspired somebody that I look up to.
Nice.
It's so weird.
Yeah, you should know that.
We had
Some people are scared to give shout outs to who inspired them. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
What is it that you're hiding?
I know what it is.
Say it.
It's
bro.
that
We've all been inspired indirectly.
we want credit for what we
Everything.
did, right? We want credit for like I did it. I
Yeah.
want credit for that. But dude, nothing comes from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I always say
I'm
like,
telling you this right now. I hate to walk on you again. This
that's
is your
cool.
show. But the reason why I have heat in front of me, and I've told you this story in the green room, is Cedric the Entertainer. Have I
Okay.
told you that story?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so I'm opening for a Cedric the Entertainer at Pochanga. I forget how many people are there, but let's just say about 3,000.
Okay.
This is hot. This is Cedric.
Yeah.
TV show. This is Kings of Comedy. This is everything.
Right.
You know, movies, everything. This is Cedric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 3,000, no less than 3,000 people.
And that's like in a theater at Pachanga.
Huge. It's like a ballroom. They didn't have a theater big enough. Like it's a ballroom. Like it's so huge, massive. They had to do a build out for this guy. But I did a couple shows with him like that. And of course I'm backstage. I got my son back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his mommy's back there. And I'm like, I'm about to crush this shit. Like this is my pocket right here, bro. You don't give me 3,000 people paid ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, 3,000 paid ready to laugh.
Yeah.
Better than a open mic at a bar where they're
Right.
not even here they don't even care what's going on. They just want beer night.
Mm-hmm.
This is paid ready to laugh.
It's like when I feel like when I'm on your shows.
Yeah,
It's like
it's a
that's-
different environment, man.
Mhm.
It's not 2 for 1 night at the Improv on a Wednesday. This isn't bringer night on a Tuesday. This is
Right.
paid. We've been waiting 2 months for this shit.
Right.
We're ready. We're laughing driving here.
Yeah.
We're ready. And I was like, I'm about to crush this fucking thing so hard. I had, dude, you don't even know. My sets back then were
Yeah.
crushers.
Dude.
Like
the-
crushers.
the
out
orange
the
chicken,
park,
does that
all
win?
that shit. All that
Ugh.
shit, man.
Yeah.
And I go out there and I give it to him, man. It was 15 of the hottest. It was literally like, there was like 15 closers in a row, man.
Yeah.
It was just applause break, applause break, applause break,
Yeah.
applause break, applause break. My name's Jo Koy. Good night. people standing.
Oh shit.
In my head, you know, because comics are lions, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you destroy on stage, you're like, yeah. You know, we don't say it to the next guy, but we're like, follow that motherfucker.
Yeah.
We do that. That's our shit. And you should. It's competition.
It is.
It's competition, bro. Like that's what it is. And oh well, you didn't follow. I'm sorry. I had that show. You know what I mean?
No,
I walked into the fire a lot of times, bro. So I've been the recipient of it. But that night, I was like, ain't no way this motherfucker gonna follow this shit.
Okay.
There's no fucking way. I fucking blew the lid off this bitch. Show is over. I should just sell merch right now.
Okay.
Cedric is good. This is the end of Cedric's career right now. A star is born. Like I'm saying all that shit in my head.
Uh-huh.
And I look to my left and I see Cedric and he's bouncing. I've ever told you the story?
No.
He's bouncing, bro. You know what I mean? It's my first time seeing Cedric. I didn't even see him. I just saw his manager.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he's bouncing, bro. He's fucking bouncing. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jo Koy. Bring that fucking room up. Make me work for this fucking money tonight, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. Smacks my hand.
Fuck yeah.
He's got his big ass fedora on. He's got this fucking suit on with the sleeveless suit. Fucking look so rich. No one was richer than this guy that night, man. He's like, that's what I'm talking about, motherfucker. Make me work for that money, motherfucker. Jo Koy, you did your shit.
Yes.
Hug me, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, Cedric the Entertainer. And I'm literally, everything I said in my head was like a complete myth. I think the first 30 seconds he walked out, everybody forgot who the fuck I was.
Dude.
Forgot. The first 5 minutes, it was over with. It was Cedric's show.
That's where you learn that, man.
That's where I learned it. I was like, oh, I get it. That's what I got to do. I got to follow me's. I got to follow that. Like you aren't a headliner unless you do that shit.
That's why you put
there is no buffer in front of you. There's no softball pitch in front of Cedric. He brought fucking Pedro Martinez. He brought fucking Valenzuela. He wanted people throwing hard and fast and down the middle and striking everybody out. Like that's what he brought.
That's dope.
And then you know what he did? He hit the fucking thing out of the park.
This is my theory. I thought of this the other day. This is my theory of what my responsibility is when I'm opening for you. Is you built this pool, this amazing pool that I get to swim in before you.
Yeah.
And my job is I gotta heat that pool.
Yeah.
Without peeing in it.
Yeah. Don't pee in it, bro.
Don't pee in the pool.
Don't pee in it. I swear to God. Don't. Because everyone else that wants to jump in the pool are gonna hate you.
Yeah, I know they're gonna hate you.
You don't want them to hate you. You want them to love you. And I'm telling you, bro. I had a couple guys that were, they were a little slow. They were a little soft, and I gave them a couple chances. You know what I mean? There was one time where I pulled one guy to the side and I go, listen to me. I want you to make me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't give me a softball, man. Mm-hmm. You're not here for that. I want you to knock this bitch out of the park. Like, I want you to have a standing ovation. Like, cut the fat. Go to it. Get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't try and figure it out. You're not here to work on new shit. You're here to knock it out of the fucking park, give these people a show, and make me nervous. Like I want to be like, oh shit, I gotta step my game up.
And I love that challenge when I'm working with you. And then like sometimes like in Brea, when we did the Brea shows, every show was a little different, and I had to adjust something. Like I was, I was cold open on the show, and there was other comedians that came in, and I had to like set it up for them too. And I wanted to make sure I didn't pee in the pool. So it was a cool challenge to, like when you're already a headliner and you can go back and open, you learn something new, and it makes you, I think it makes you a stronger headliner.
Hell yeah, it does.
Oh yeah. And what's the other thing I was going to say?
But I want every comic to be like that.
Right.
Like, I mean, if you're going to take on the title of headliner, man, then bring it. Show them like what Cedric did to me. That was so humbling. You don't understand, because I was coming from the clubs, where there's 5 people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And each guy's doing their best 15. And every guy in that room, if they're saying that, they're not trying to make sure that the other guy can't follow, they're fucking lying. Comics are lions, bro.
I'm the best that there is, all the rest are lame. I make the whole crowd scream and shout
call my name. I got you pacing backstage and you got chest pains, cause ain't no way you follow me tonight, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna make you work, I'm gonna make you sweat. It's gonna be the hardest set that you've had thus yet. I'm gonna watch your career go right down the drain as the booze rain down like a hurricane, cause I'm a lion. You can't keep me in a cage cause I'm too damn strong, cause I'm a lion. When you see me on the stage, you should quit your night job.
I love what you said.
Every guy's going up there to crush, and every guy's like, "Yo, why is he gonna eat his dick on stage?"
Dude, tell him what you said about like when you used to bring Chris D'Elia to open for you.
I used to do it to every guy.
Yeah, okay.
Every guy that I would bring on the road. Ty Rivera was a fucking beast, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, man. Ty Rivera, back in the day, I mean, he's still. I haven't seen him in years,
Right.
but when I took him, holy shit.
Yep.
I took him on the road for about a year, maybe a year and a couple months, man. It just, oh man, there was one show in Guam. He got a standing O. He got like half the room to stand, and I was just like, Gemma was standing right next to me, and that was the first time she ever saw him. She's like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He's good." I'm like, "Yeah, he's fucking great." And I went up there and I knocked it out of the park. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like I would always give people shit.
Yeah,
Like-
you did that to me when we did Paula.
Yeah, well, when Ty got that standing O, and
Yeah.
I think what I said to him, I don't remember, but I think what I said, I'm going to get the rest of them to stand now.
Nice.
And Chris D'Elia, I took Chris
love this
D'Elia
song.
on the road forever. Like we were on the road for about a year. I took him everywhere around the country, and that motherfucker, he would slay it in front of me. There was one room. There was the Brea room where he crushed it, and then the Miami room where he crushed it. Like those are the two that stand out the most because his ovation was so. It was a Netflix special. Good night, like that's what it sounded like. Like good night, I'm Chris D'Elia. I'm like, all the fucking shit's moving and shit. You know the Miami room, right?
Yeah.
Like because you sit behind the stage,
Right.
So you feel it. It's what he's feeling. I'm really feeling.
It's like the door in the back of the Miami stage. The stage has a door.
It has a door.
That door is the green room.
The green room.
And you come right out on stage.
So you had to turn off the light when you knew it was his time because if you left the light on, everyone would see that there's a green room back there.
Great
So
design.
imagine me in the dark knowing that the guy in front of me just fucking decimated.
Yeah. And you hear that door open. It's like,
Yeah. And then he's like, "Holy shit, that was amazing. Fucking crowd was amazing." And then I'd be like, "Yeah, now I'm going to make them forget your name."
I fucking love that, dude. I love that.
Yeah, man.
That's what I said to him after I crushed in Brea.
Oh, yeah,
And I go, hey, go make him forget me.
Yeah. I
was challenging him.
Yeah, man. You got to do that. It's
have
playful.
to,
It's
man.
playful banter, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And look at Chris now, man. He's, but mind you, I want everyone to know he was a fucking beast then.
For sure.
He's
one of those guys.
I had to get a standing O. There was nothing less then. You know what I mean? I had to when Chris went up, I had to. It was in my soul. I can't have these sold out shows and people paying money to see me and only stand for the guy in front of me. Are you fucking kidding me? Nah, bro.
I had a time.
Hold on. I want to interrupt you.
Okay.
I got to interrupt you
Yeah.
because I remember when he got two people to stand. I gotta remind Chris about this. I gotta remember that because it was in Brea, and it was kind of like his first taste of a standing O, and he got like 3 people or 4 people in Brea to stand, and I remember him coming backstage. And it was a great moment to share with them because everyone remembers that. Everyone always remembers that one time when yo, did you see that 6 people stood. And you tell everybody. It's a great feeling. And I remember I got to share that moment with him when he was like, "Yo, dude, did you see those people standing in the back?" I was like, "Yeah, man, that was dope." He's like, "Oh, it was so cool." And I was like, "I'm going to go make them forget you now."
It's the best.
That's the best. I'm going to make everyone go, "Hey, Joe, was there an opener?" Because all we remember is you.
I felt that way in Paula, man. You did that to me. I was like, oh, that went so good. And I was watching you. I did 20 minutes. Yeah. You did 2 hours. Yeah. I'm like, these people don't even remember me.
2 hours are these hot.
Yeah,
I gave 2 hours hot.
Yeah, real good. And it's an outdoor venue. So I'm like,
that's a dope venue, by the way.
It's a dope venue.
Yeah.
Outdoor venue meaning
that's the one casino I will never say no to.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's amazing. It's like that one and the Wynn. I'll never say no to those. Yeah. Oh fuck, I got one more. Borgata.
Borgata.
Those 3, and that's it. That's
okay.
it. The other ones,
you
guys might want to bite your fingernails for a second.
Yeah.
Might want to fix your sound and lighting some.
Exactly.
But those three are perfect.
I love that whole thing about like riding that wave of like when somebody destroys before you and then you got to step it up. It makes you work harder.
Well, no. You got to learn how to ride it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people think that you can ride that. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't ride it. Sometimes you got to manipulate it and bring it down and then get it back. Sometimes you got to get them back onto your train track. Sometimes you got to bring them into your bus and take them for that ride. You got to figure it is a fine line.
Yeah.
That is not handed to you. When it's a crusher set in front of you, that's a fucking fire, man. It's a forest fire, and you got to learn how to kind of damp it out a little so you can walk through that fire a little bit. And you're like, okay, here's some clear shit here. I got some rubbish over here. Let me start these little flames over here because now it's my fire. Because what you did is your fire. That's yours.
Right.
I got to go get mine now. I can't just step into your fire and add gas to it. No, it's not like that, bro. It's not like that. It's a completely different ball game, bro.
I got to ask you a question then. Selfishly, just so I know, have you ever made it difficult for you?
Yeah, there's always times like I don't even. It's 30 years for me now, so I don't give a shit who's in front of me.
Yeah,
I don't care. It can be anybody in front of me. I don't care. I know that I will bring that environment into my world, and I will then crush it.
Right. So
You know what I
now
mean?
it doesn't. So now at this point, it doesn't matter for you
No,
if somebody just fucking gets full on standing ovation.
no.
Because when you go to your shows now, they're there to see you.
Yeah,
But
that's any environment,
right?
I'll go to the Laugh Factory. I don't give a shit. And nor do I give a fuck. If I don't care. So that's another bonus that I love.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm in that position where it's like, oh, okay, well, I tried to do shit out, didn't work, or it didn't. I wasn't on my. I don't care, but I'm gonna come with it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come with it hard. That Laugh Factory set was amazing, man. I went up last week with my son.
Mm-hmm.
This was my first time doing a multi,
showcase,
like a showcase set.
Yeah,
I haven't done that in so long, and
it's kind of like
bro, I knocked that shit out the park.
It's been a while since.
And my son watched the whole thing. He was like, "What was that, Dad?" He's never seen that. He's only seen me do the improvs or the theaters. He's never seen me do the showcase nights.
Because you got a story with the Laugh Factory, and what did that mean after not going up there for so long?
For 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
And you
my son was a
finally,
baby upstairs.
and Tiffany Haddish used to babysit him.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish would babysit him. Everyone would babysit him. My ex used to go and babysit him.
Yeah.
The waitresses would watch him. It was longer. Actually, it was longer than 10 years. I think it was like almost 13 years now.
It's kind of like
13 years since I stepped foot on that Laugh Factory stage.
And it's where you came up, really,
That's
in
where
LA.
I came up. Yeah, that's where I made my mark hard. And
Yeah.
that's where I handed out every single business card. The stuff that you're doing right now,
Yeah.
I did that. I would go through boxes, and they would make fun of me. Butch Bradley would make fun of me.
Yeah.
Alonzo Bowden would make fun of me. You know what I mean? They'll not make fun of me, but they're like, "Oh, go hand out your cards."
Yeah. I've been doing cards for longer than working with you, but
Yeah.
but in a different way. And now I've looked at your cards and I kind of, I've made some changes and stuff. But so at the Laugh Factory now, you had whatever, you and Jamie had a falling out.
Yeah.
And then Tiffany, you ran into Tiffany.
Yeah.
This is how it happened.
Tiffany and I ran into each other, and she was like, "There you are." It was after an Elton John concert. We were coming out of the Forum. And of course, both of us, so bougie, so Hollywood, but we both got SUVs, drivers, you know what I mean? We're coming out of the VIP lounge of the Forum. And she's like, "Where are you going, Jo Koy?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going to go home." She's like, "Well, I'm going to the Laugh Factory. I want to get a set in real quick, and you should go too." And I'm like, "I don't know about that. I don't think I can. I haven't talked to Jamie in so long." And then we both get in the cars and we start driving off. And I get on the phone. I'm like, because I was going to the Laugh Factory with her. And then I got on the phone and I called her. I go, "Tiff, I can't, because he does not want me there."
Mm.
And she's like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm going to walk you in. You going up." And then she literally walked me in, and fucking Jamie, it was crazy because all the cats were there. I felt like it was a throwback. It was so weird. I felt like it was the Twilight Zone. It was Maj Jabrani. It was Tony Rock, and it was Tiffany and me. Like that was a Saturday night back in the day with me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then there was Jamie, and he turned around and she goes, "Jamie, Joe's here." And then I hugged him. It was just like old days. I always, you know how I am. I hugged him and I kissed him, and I said, "I'm so sorry." I go, "I'm sorry with whatever it was that made us not talk for all these years, but please let me make this up to you." Like I gave him my heart because he gave me everything, man. He gave me my start there. And then he just kissed me back and he goes, "Get on stage, buddy."
That's great.
Just
man.
get on stage. Everything's okay. Just get back on stage. So now I'm back over there.
You guys are both like, I feel like sensitive guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's all he wanted after all that time. It was just a simple.
Yeah.
You said you're sorry.
Yeah.
For something, and then it just, he was like, that's all he needed to hear.
Yeah.
And for all these years, maybe you had a fear of why you couldn't go over there.
Yeah.
And it was pretty simple.
Well, I knew he
It's
was
crazy.
mad.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? But he never let me apologize or whatever, which rightfully I get it. But what killed me the most is that's where I got my LA start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't my comedy start, but that was my LA start. And that was my room, bro. 7 days
remember.
a week, man. I would be crushing that
You
thing.
would crush that room as hard as anyone, or harder than anyone.
It was
like on a given night. Like that, I would watch guys there, and I learned so much I learned how to crush from watching guys like you. Honestly.
from that room. That room was magical.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because, my son used to be upstairs as a baby, you know what I mean? And then to be like, my son's 16 and all his friends go down Sunset and they all know that Joe's dad's a comic, but why isn't your dad ever going up at the Laugh Factory? The blah, blah, blah. And then, it killed me inside because I always told the story about the Laugh Factory, but he never saw the Laugh Factory. Mm-hmm. And we were getting ramen the other day on Melrose and we were driving by and Jay reached out asking me to come up, can you do a guest spot? And I go, "Hey, Joe, they just reached out. You want to go to the Laugh Factory?" I thought he was going to say, "No, it's a school night." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, "That'd be cool." And I was like, "Let's do this shit." Dude. So I pulled in and he got to see and experience the whole vibe and energy of that room, man. It was sold out, by the way. It was crazy. Jay Davis night. And he sat in Jamie's booth. And I went up and crushed it.
That's awesome, dude.
It was fun, man. And he got to see it.
I was going to say, it's good that he got to see something that felt like when you were coming up.
Yeah.
When like, that's why you did it is for him.
Yeah.
To ensure his future.
Yeah, man.
To work hard.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was fun, man.
Full circle moment.
Oh, it was a full circle moment. I was so happy, man, that night. I had the biggest smile on my... And by the way, the night before, I was suffering through depression. Wow. That's when the depression was kicking in, the night before. And
I got a cure for it. I think it's going to tie things together from the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
But when I get depressed, and which is going to always happen from time to time, the gratitude list that you were talking about, that like write the things down that you're grateful for, right?
Yeah.
There's no way you can remain as depressed as you were at the beginning of the 10 things that you're grateful for that you write down. If you just doesn't matter how big or small they are.
I like that, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big or small they are. I got to eat avocado toast today.
Yeah.
My son smiled at me today.
Yeah.
And then you'll write one that's big and you're like, "Oh my God."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, things are good.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
right.
suggest that
You're
to
right.
anybody.
100%.
Yeah.
I said this on my pod today, in fact,
Yeah.
but I just want to close it on this.
Yeah.
Because I think it's kind of a cool. Is it summary? Is this how we end?
A summary, yeah. A conclusion, yeah.
This is a good conclusion.
Yeah.
I was watching this Clooney movie called Up in the Air, right? Mm-hmm. And he talks about he's doing like some kind of speech at some seminar, and he had like a backpack on the table, and he goes, "Your house is on fire, and you got 5 minutes to grab whatever you want and fill this backpack up to the rim, but that's all you get, and then the rest of it burns with the house." And he starts asking around the room what they would want. And a lot of people were like, "Wedding pictures, baby pictures, blah, blah, blah." And then he goes on to say, "I'm not going to fill my backpack because everything that's in that house is right here in my head. And it's the best picture of whatever it is that I want to get. Whatever that picture is, this is a much better version of that picture, because this gives you dialogue, it gives you action. It's an HD. It's now I'm ad-libbing. I don't know if that's what he said, but that's how I interpreted it. And he's right. You know what I mean? That's exactly how like sometimes I'm depressed about, I didn't do this. I didn't take that picture when I said I wanted to with my son, or I didn't do that video when it was his first time eating that corn that he got with all the Parmesan stuff and all that. And I was like, I was going to take a picture and the first corn, you know what I mean? Like
elote.
But the cool thing is I had that memory, and it's better than that damn picture. Like I remember him eating it. I remember him going, "Oh my God, that's delicious!" Like I'm watching it right now in my head while I'm talking to you. That's the cool thing. It's in HD, man. Mentally, I'm there right now, remembering that moment, and that's what we got to remember. You know what I mean? When you get depressed about, I didn't do that, just remember you have it. It's there. Enjoy it. Enjoy that moment.
So I think the moral of the story is, if this podcast gets deleted off your phone, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And that's true.
You listen to it.
You heard it, and it's in your head. I like that. And I know you're supposed to close this goddamn pod, but you're right, man.
Yeah, no.
Enjoy those moments, man.
I learned so much from you, and as a parting gift, I'm not going to give you a backpack. How's that?
I love it.
Because this is the experience that we had, and it was worthwhile, and I'll remember forever. Thank you, man.
I love you, man. Stay inspired.
Love you,
because you inspire me.
Jo Koy, living his dream because his dream is living. In gratitude, like it's always Thanksgiving. Give it all you've got, get yours and give it all. Cause heaven doesn't have them all. Keep leaping, keep soaring, keep flying, bro.
Comics are lions, bro.
Keep crushing, no limit to what you can do. Be the best, be the best, be the best.
That's you.
Get some therapy, don't be lazy.
We're all crazy.
There's no conspiracy, so stop the wait.
Hulk Hogan saying,
church crowds into confetti. You better be ready. From the ghetto to the gate.
First episode done. Now, since you're one of the people that made it to the end, that means you either liked it or you hate yourself and you put yourself through this whole thing. Either way, I need to hear from you in the comments on iTunes or wherever you listen to this. We need those ratings. We're a brand new podcast, and we need to get that algorithm. Massage the algorithm for us. The more power we have, the faster we can rise to dominance. And also, look on my social media because I'm posting videos from this episode and other episodes in the future. You'll find my clips on my Facebook. The name is Eric Schwartz, EricSchwartz. Instagram, Eric Schwartz with 3 E's in the beginning. It's pronounced Eric Schwartz. And then we got it on YouTube, too. We got longer clips on YouTube. Got to give a big shout out to my friend Peter Marr, the visual producer. All the video clips that you see online were made possible by him. 3-camera shoot. He set up all the visuals in the studio, the set, the construction. He did it all. Songs were all produced by me and written by me, Eric Schwartz. ASCAP. Look, that was the first episode. How did we do? You're on the ground floor. You get to influence where this show goes from now on. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? For example, I'm figuring out a way to get you the individual songs, because I thought that might be something you might like. What else? I guess we'll find out more next time on Podcast the Musical.